interesting with that in Minnesota anyhow, where they are watching more and more people get it. It's in big box places, like in Walmart or Target or places like that.
Right.
And they didn't, that was not a hot spot before, but it's a hot spot now. So it's a good thing my girls showed me how to order all of the presents off of, I was never a Amazon person or order things for the computer at all. And so the girls, I mean, I just never did it. And so the girls showed me how to do it and said, okay, I think you should be doing that, Mom. If you're going to buy presents, which nobody really needs, um, do it over the computer. So I'm doing it all my Christmas shopping over the computer because somebody told me, oh, it was Gordon Dean. I have a men's group. Like last Tuesday, I had a men's group. I have it every 2 weeks. And he had said that at the end of February, I thought, he said 1 out of 2 people in the United States will have gotten this. 1 out of 2 people. So we're already going to have, some type of herd immunity with what's going on. But you are right, Jen. What I hear from a lot of people is that they have some after effects that they are still talking about and need to be cleared of that energy. So, Miss Ellen.
My daughter lives in Madison, Wisconsin, and she told me today that they will get fined if they have people outside of their immediate family.
Oh, in for like Thanksgiving and stuff, or
Yeah, or just period. It's just not for the holiday.
wow.
I mean, I don't know, but
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm.
So they mean business.
Now, I think it's important to be. I really do think it's important to be safe as much as we're staying high energetically and stuff. And when people always say, well, it's an illusion. And I said, no, it's in the hologram. It's in the hologram. We are projected in the hologram. It's in the hologram. So I said, don't play around with this. Don't be frightened of it, but don't be silly with it either. Don't be silly with it either. So so yeah. You heard last time my joke that I gave of a woman that I had as a client, and she said, and she was from Mountain Lake, and she said, well, 35 people can come to a funeral, so we're trading our Thanksgiving as a funeral for the turkey. I thought that was funny. I don't think she's really having 35 people, but she said, if you treat your Thanksgiving as a funeral for the turkey, you can have at least 35 people in your home. So that was funny. The other joke that I heard today was this: is she said there was a little picture in the paper where the COVID-19 was kind of peeking behind a tree, and somebody said to the COVID-19 virus, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm seeing if you're going to go to a bar or if you're going to go home." I thought that was funny too. Which is probably very true. Probably very true. So stay safe, everybody. Stay safe. Stay really, really safe at this time, and do your Zoom Thanksgiving if that's what is there for you. And if you do go, bubble wrap yourself up really, really well if you're going to go and visit your beloved ones. And I've asked all of my I think I told you this. I asked all my grandchildren, so how do you think you're dealing with all this? And they had said to me that the only thing we're afraid of is that one of our grandparents are going to die. So they're aware of that this virus hits older people. So that's something that and I would encourage you to talk with them, if they're old enough to talk about it, because I think that lots of times we don't talk to them and ask them how they're doing or what they need for support or things like that. I think that's really important. So during this whole COVID thing, just as I send 3 letters out, 3 cards out every day, I send a letter to my grandchildren every week during this time. just to let them know that, that they are the sparkle in my eye. They are the sparkle of my eye. So make sure you do a lot of gratitude, a lot of reaching out, a lot of writing, a lot of gratitude right now. Again, when you walk through this particular boot camp year, ask yourself, what are the qualities or what are the virtues or what are the values that you were receiving during this year? What is the umpha that you perhaps had faith? And be in gratitude that you have greater faith. Or like for me, one of the things is the deeper sense of gratitude. And I didn't think I could get a gift of a deeper gift of gratitude. Because many of you know that I lost a son when I was very, very young. And that brought me into a deeper appreciation of how precious life is. And I thought, wow, nothing in life could ever bring me closer to a deeper level of gratitude than losing a son. And going through this period of time and watching, again, some of the things that I do watch over the television, having a deeper and deeper appreciation and gratitude for each day that I have on my life and that everybody else has of their life. So we're changing. So thank you everybody for joining us. Miss Amy had something to do tonight, so Miss Janelle is on board with helping us with everything. So you can wave and bring that energy out there to everybody. Isn't that great? Can't you feel the energy? Just feel the energy when that happens.
That's great. Start off everyone like that.
That's right. So what I want you...
Gratitude on my arm.
Oh, good for you.
I'm too chicken to get a tattoo, but there it is.
Oh, maybe we can go together and get a little one someday. All my daughters and I, we have the infinity sign. And I told you the story about that when I got that tattoo. I came home and took 2 weeks, actually. I'm naked in front of my husband all the time, but it took 2 weeks for him to see this. And he goes, "What's that?" And I said, "A tattoo." And he says, "That's not a tattoo." And I said, "It is too. It's really." He says, "That's not a tattoo. That's a henna." And I said, "No, that's really a tattoo." I took all the girls down. We all got a tattoo together of the infinity sign. He says, "Oh my God, you're a terrible, naughty mom as well." So,
yeah, I can't commit to a tattoo, so I'll just use marker on my body.
Okay, well, maybe we'll do that someday too.
We can just, everybody, when COVID's over, let's all get together and marker on our bodies.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. So the clip I'm going to show you today, my loves, is a clip about the November 30th full moon. And again, when I find these clips, I don't understand all the things when they say the conjunctures with this conjuncture and it's 90 degrees past this planet and all that stuff. I don't get all that stuff. So but I do indeed believe that as the only culture that seems to dismiss is the energy of the full moon. If you go to Asia, if you go to Russia, if you go to even the Hawaiian Islands, there's so many places that understand that there's a energy that comes in with the full moon. And also it'll give you time to get your jars out there if you haven't gotten your jars out there before, to get your jars again. If you don't have big ones, get big ones. I ran out of moon water a couple days ago, so I have to get a bigger one now. So everybody's drinking my moon water. And it'll get you time to get out there. But this is a really good clip that's going to help you see what's happening in the energy right now, to really see what's happening in the energy right now. So welcome everybody, and Miss Janelle will put on that clip.
Okay, here we go.
Hey there! The Gemini full moon on November 30th is a partial lunar eclipse. The sun is in Sagittarius. Here we have the opportunity to focus on the future we want to create. You can plant the seeds by holding the vision of what you want your life to be, and by setting your intention that you're going to make it happen. Consciousness is always looking for fuller expansion. Sagittarius represents the expansion of consciousness. It is the archer aiming for the stars. Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius, is days away from entering Aquarius. We can feel this now as he's done with Capricorn, and it's time to get ready for the quantum shift into the air signs. The moon is in Gemini, the sister sign of Aquarius. It's also supporting this biggest shift of our lives. The Jupiter-Saturn marching into Aquarius together on solstice, December 21st. And the air signs will be the dominant energy for the next 200 years. This is exciting. It will be bringing innovation, scientific breakthroughs that will raise the standard of living for everyone. This will increase the quality of life for you and I. And this is good news, yes. Oh, so the moon is in Gemini, and it's a partial eclipse. And the sun is in Sagittarius. So here they are opposing each other. Now, Sagittarius represents your truth, your wisdom, your beliefs. And as we evolve, our beliefs evolve too. So this is a time for us to look at what it is we believe now. I often find myself saying things and then stepping back and going, I don't think I believe that anymore. We get into these patterns and we go along with things because patterns can be very comfortable. Now it's a time where we can look at what it is we believe and evaluate, do I still believe that? Is that still true for me? And the Gemini full moon, which represents conscious awareness, being very conscious, looking at our perceptions, looking at our thought patterns, is lighting this up and encouraging us to step back and look at, okay, is this still my truth? Is this still my story? Is this what I believe? Is it time to tell a new story? And I think it is for all of us to tell a new story and tell it in the way of what it is we want in our life. Maybe not as it is right now, but what we want our future to be, what we want in our life. Do we want greater prosperity? Do we want greater well-being? Do we want love? What is it that we want? Tell that story and affirm it in the positive as if you already have it. By thought, you create what you want. By action, you receive it. So it's not enough to just visualize, I want this in my life. We have to take the action steps to make it happen. We have to take the action so that we can receive it when the universe sends it our way, sends what we want to us. So by thought, we create it. By action, we receive it. You want to look at your actions and see if you are set up to receive the love you want, the prosperity you want, the well-being you want. So if we say, hey, I want to, trim down and have more muscle, but then we're not working out and we're not eating less. So our actions are not supporting what we're saying. So we want to be set up to receive what we want, and we do that by taking the action steps, working out more, eating less, and really supporting our body, because the body is the messenger. The body tells you what it wants. The body tells you what's right. And instinctually, the body will tell you. this is right for me, this is not right for me. This is a very exciting time that we're living in. And the Gemini full moon is lighting your path, showing you the way forward. And that's exciting. So we're about to make a quantum shift into the air signs. And this full moon is helping to support us and bring that into our lives, because we are now in this new reality. The moon is in Gemini, and it rules the conscious mind, your perceptions, your thought patterns, your style of speaking and listening. It is the Lover's card in the Tarot. It rules duality, being of two minds. Often when the Lover's card appears, it's about making a decision about a relationship, your work, your life. Now, at this full moon, there could be two possible scenarios for you to choose from. Do I go right? Do I go left? Do I take this road? Do I take that road? And something that may appear negative on the surface is a blessing in disguise. So if a relationship completes now at this full moon, you're done with this relationship, you're done with this job, or you're pushed out of this job, or you're pushed out of this industry, or you're being asked to relocate, go with it, because that's the universe showing you it's time to move forward here. We're taking you on a new path. We're taking you on a new road. Embrace it. Go with what feels right. Trust your instincts. Now, if you're feeling stuck at this full moon where you may feel that you're not ready to make this choice, you're not ready to let go of something, fate will step in and make the choice for you. Now, I know for me personally, I like to make the choice. I like to see the signs of the times and see what the universe is nudging me along with when something's about to end or I'm done with something. I'd rather be the one making the choice than having the universe push me out. But either way, we're on a new path, we're going in a new direction, and it is exciting. Now, another thing that's very interesting about the Gemini full moon is it's similar to the Aries full moon we had on October 1st, because this full moon doesn't have any aspects with it either. The sun and the moon are the stars here. Mars is in positive energy flow with both lights, the sun and the moon, but he's in a wide orb. He is over 8 degrees. And Neptune is the next one. Neptune rules our highest ideals, and he's almost 10 degrees away. So there really is nothing influencing this full moon, which is very exciting and interesting. It's something to meditate on, where the universe is saying, okay, the moon itself is the star, and it's a partial eclipse. It is about making choices. It is about making decisions. And when there's nothing aspecting a full moon like this, now the sun represents consciousness. It represents logic and reasoning. The moon represents our feelings. One is not better than the other. Both are essential in making choices and decisions. So we don't want to just go with, well, this is the logical thing to do. I make a lot of decisions that are not logical, but have worked out really well for me. So it's not about just signing up because something is logical. And it's not about just going with something, especially when we get emotional or we're too emotional. Full moons can really rev up our emotions, our feelings. So one is not better than the other. You know, the left brain is not better than the right brain. The male side of us is not better than the female side. We want to bring them into harmony, and we want to sit them both down at the table and listen to both sides and then incorporate the wisdom from both our feelings as well as our conscious awareness, our logical side. So this full moon is going to bring to light feelings you may not have known you even had. Full moons have a tendency to do that because they accentuate everything. And Mercury, the ruler of the Gemini lunar eclipse, is right at the end in Scorpio. He's at almost 28 degrees Scorpio. And this is really interesting because, well, he's going to march into Sagittarius the next day, December 1st. So he's flying forward, and he is in positive energy flow with Saturn in Capricorn, Pallas Athena, the asteroid, the goddess of wisdom, truth, and strategy, and Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius. So we have both rulers, Mercury, who rules Gemini, Jupiter, who rules Sagittarius, and they are sextile, harmonious, opportunity. Sextile, when you hear the word sextile, it means opportunity. And they're in positive energy flow with each other. So this is a very positive full moon. And it is about releasing, in Scorpio, it's about shedding the snake skin, shedding what no longer serves you, releasing patterns and behaviors that are no longer a part of you. It could even be an attitude that's not serving you. Maybe it's about, letting go of, say, some negative attitude that's just playing, old tapes that play in our head. That's what this full moon is bringing to light. Like, okay, so this tape's been playing in my head, but I don't even believe it anymore. It's not even true for me. It's not part of who I am anymore. Why do I still say it or, let it play? And that's what's being brought to light now is it's time to let go of what is no longer part of you, what is no longer serving you. Because this is a very powerfully positive lunar eclipse, and it's lighting the way of your future. And it's showing you the new potentials, the new possibilities, the new ideas that are emerging in your life now. And it's giving you solid strategies to solve problems, solid strategies that are solutions. Saturn and Pallas are coupled together and they're in harmony with Mercury. So it's about shedding the old and being open to the new thinking, being open to the new possibilities in your life, being open to new ideas, new strategies that can solve the issues at hand. This is very exciting. And it's giving you a solid foundation now to carry you into the future, to carry you into this new path that is emerging for you. And this new air cycle, we're calling it the new era. So instead of era, we're saying era. And that is amazing. This is really exciting what's happening right now. So do what is right for you. Trust your instincts, even if it may seem fanciful or even like outrageous. It could be absolutely the perfect place for you. And it could work out better than you could possibly have imagined. So be open to where the universe is taking you. Be open to the new ideas. Be open to the new possibilities, the new potentials that will be emerging in your life now and in December and going into the new year. This Gemini full moon is lighting up this new path for you. Make the decisions you need to make. Make the choices you need to make at this time. Move forward in your life, secure in the knowledge that the choice you make is the right one for you. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking and sharing my videos. You are rocking awesome. And thank you for subscribing. You totally rock. I will be back with the next video, which is the Jupiter.
She's great.
Okay, so I'm going to reiterate some of that stuff. First and foremost, this is if you have not drank moon juice, I would tell you that although many people wouldn't understand it, and everybody doesn't need to know that you're doing it anyways. You know, that's the wonderful thing, is that no one needs to know that when she says that this full moon has a certain, there's nothing obstructing it. And so it's like Grand Central Station. If we all took hands and said, let's go on a trip to New York City to Grand Central Station, we would go into that unique building and see the architecture that is perfectly unique and wonderful and enormous and beautiful. And yet there's a lot of energy in Grand Central Station going back and forth and back and forth. And it never stops. It just never stops. And so that's what this full moon has for us. It's kind of like a Grand Central Station that's unique and beautiful, and architecturally there's nothing in its way, and it's bringing a lot of energy in at this time. And when she says it will light up your way to the next passages that you are going into. If I had the opportunity, and I know this is very easy for me to say because I give compassion and empathy for people who are losing, when in Minnesota, when they heard Tim Walz speak of the close down and close up, I know that restaurant owners just froze. I know that bar owners just froze. And I know that their reaction and response was, we hardly were making ends meet right now after 8 months and after those closing downs. But I truly believe that they too are in this ascension or wake up, and they too, if a door closes for them, a door will open for them. A door will open for them. I love the fact that she said that if you don't let go of something that you need to let go of, that fate will step in at this time. And as Oprah Winfrey always says, it'll hit you with a 2x4 or a brick, or a whole wall will fall down. And so it's better to let go whatever you need to let go. So including me, we've all sat on the fence with decisions, whether it's should I get a new job, whether it's should I divorce someone, should I end this relationship with a friend, should I snuff up my resume and get a new job, should I stay in it for the next 2 years just because I'd get a bigger pension at the end. I mean, we've all had areas where we've sat on the fence. And I think at that time when we were sitting on the fence, that was perhaps okay. Right now we're being asked that whatever fence that we might be or you might be sitting on and been weeble wobbling back and forth, that I would ask you to ask the energy that is coming in, like Grand Central Station right now, is to let go of that of which you've been sitting on the fence. And sometimes it is changing jobs. Sometimes even in starting a new business. You know, whatever your energy, whatever your psychic, holy consciousness is asking you to do at this time, that's again the voice of God within you. That's the voice of the goddess within you. That's the energy that's coming out at this time. And we had to get to this point of questioning, like, am I really hearing this right? Am I doing this right? Am I going to do this right? It's time. And some people always ask me, what is that? I've been doing it for 28 years. I really don't know. I think it's just energy coming in. And so what I really believe that now is the time to make that choice and get off the fence. The only reason why is if the energy is coming in like Grand Central Station, to this unique architectural energy field that we have created now. And if you can imagine that I do believe when I close my eyes, I see this geometric design, this kind of like bubble over the whole universe and over the United States. We created a geometric design of networking in consciousness. So we're a small group that's sitting in this time frame. I am absolutely positive that there are other small groups and or enormously large groups that are sitting at their time frame, working on a collective consciousness. I believe that in other areas all around the world, points of light that are doing that. And in that moment when we were constantly coming together, whether it was laughing, whether it was dancing, whether it was just shooting the breeze, the collective consciousness was creating a dome of geometric design over the whole of the world. So we could have an internet with each other on a conscious level. So when people come to me and say, I just thought of somebody the other day that I haven't seen for 10 years. And I said, well, most likely that person, wherever they are sitting and they're thinking of you too after 10 years. And so there's a connection then. There's a connection in this metrodome that's covering. And this is the energy that is, so when we pray or when we get together and we're bringing that energy down into the earth, it radiates down into the earth. It's coming, that's that heaven coming to earth. That's that heaven coming to earth. So if there is a behavior, if there is a thought process, if it is that you've been thinking about parting ways with a friend, if there is about selling a house or whatever it might be, now is the time to get off the fence. And this is one of my favorite sayings, is that in Zen, because people say, well, I feel fear. Or they'll say, well, as they're sitting on the fence trying to make a decision, well, I worry, or I doubt. Or archetypal patterns will come in like, I can't because, and then they go into victim consciousness. And it stops them from crossing the fence. Or a prostitute. Prostitute means you're prostituting your dreams, your wants, and your desires away in hopes that somebody else might have theirs or do theirs. So there are many archetypes, there's many behaviors, there's many patterns that we meet at this fence. And a Zen master said to me once, Janice, when you see that, you might think it's a tiger, but in Zen, we call it a paper tiger. It's just a paper tiger. You see it as a tiger that's going to get you, but it's just a paper tiger. And so I've always worked with that statement. So every time I felt fear, making a decision to do something, start something, or even let go of something, I would remind myself of what that Zen master said. Oh, that's a paper tiger. That's not a tiger that's going to come and get me. That's just a paper tiger. And I can rip that tiger in half because it's just made out of paper. And so when you can get to that point to constantly tell yourself that, and then just finally make the decision. Finally make the decision. I know Julie has just finally made a decision. So many people have just made a decision. And I love it that, Ellen, you let go too, because when you texted me and said, so I was going to go to Arizona for the GEM show, that's canceled, now what? I guess I'll just, and you just said, you didn't go like, oh darn, oh gosh, oh gee, why did it turn out that? You didn't do any of that. You just said, well, let's have another reading and see what's coming up next. What's coming up next? She didn't let the paper tiger get her. Julie didn't let the paper tiger get her. for those who, just as John and Julie, you sold your home and you didn't let the paper tiger get you. You realized it's just a paper tiger and you released it. You released it. And the universe will have your back. At this time in that metrodome of energy, which it is bringing a consistent energy of peace on earth, you're included in all of that. Your lives are included in all of that enormously. So one of the things I would ask you to think about is not the person I want to show up as, but to think about the person I will show up as. Not to think about the person I want to be anymore, but can you boldly, bravely, audaciously say, this is the person I'm going to show up as. I also love the statement, and I hope I hope this just sears into your body. I just heard that there is a class called French Kiss Your Problems. Don't you just love that? When I heard that, I asked, like, what did you just say? And she said, French kiss your problems. Don't swear at it. Don't ignore it. Don't get mad at it. French kiss your problems. And after you French kiss your problems and you know it's a paper tiger, and you make a decision to get off the fence and do what you're called to do, or even what you want to do or dreamt you always wanted to do, then what you're going to do is you are going to be on this path. If you don't do that, all of these dynamic teachers that I work with say that the universe will choose them for you, Janice. The universe will because there's an enormous, grand, and great awakening. So when you French kiss your problem, and I have that vision in my head, I am going to go out and French kiss every problem that comes my way. I put that on to the layer of the paper tiger. I'm going to French kiss the problem. I'm going to get off the fence. If I say I'm going to exercise, I want to show up as a woman who's healthy, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So then you ask the question after that, after you rip the paper tiger and give it a French kiss and let it go and get off the fence, and you're finally on the other side, you're going to show up as the woman or the man that you were meant to be in God's great design. We all have a template, a design. And I do call it God's great design for me is. God's great design for me has always been my hope. My name that I received in Egypt was to help open planetary eyes. God's great design was me to help open as many planetary eyes to the truth and the empowerment of who they are, and to bring that forth in this dynamic moment of the Great Awakening, And I guarantee you, just as we talked about last week when we did Muji, or last week, Tuesday, when we did Muji about being invited into the sacred moment of now, the generous sacred moment of now, and just feeling your essence of who you are, that is the energy that people are going to not, they're not even going to admire it anymore. They're going to want it. They're going to want it. And our job is to be on stage right now and doing that. Because we're all teachers. I'm not the teacher here. We're all teachers. And we're all teaching in some way, shape, and form. And so I want you to French kiss every problem that comes along your way. Because it's easy to French kiss the good stuff. It's harder to French kiss the harder stuff. Many of you have done yoga. Again, I have many yoga teacher friends, and one of the yoga teacher friends said to me that she belongs to a program called Yoga Off the Mat. And I went, what does that mean? Does everything that I've learned on the yoga mat, every discipline I've ever learned on the yoga mat, I'm supposed to roll up my mat now, put it under my arm, and take it off the mat and bring it into the universe. I absolutely believe that we're supposed to get off the front pew of the churches and bring that energy out into the universe of what we learned through the Gospels on those pews. It's easy to meditate and stay calm and peaceful when you're in the corner of your room and no one's there. And so I tell people, it's time to get off the chair and be in meditation wherever you're at. So it's still wonderful and divine that people still do those practices. But it's about bringing that energy, which absolutely comes out in a physical way. It comes out in actions, and it comes out in our choices when we get off the mat and all the discipline that we've learned on the yoga mat and bring that out into, and everything that I've learned sitting in the corner and meditating all my years is to bring that out into the universe. This is a historical, energetic moment for us. And all of you have been working so incredibly diligently, and I'm going to say even religiously hard. And some of the stuff that you perhaps had learned a long time ago, it isn't that it doesn't make sense anymore, because it made sense then. It's just not, it's just the old paradigm. It's just the old paradigm. So when I was telling, and I think Amy and Janelle addressed this about when Joe Dispenza says, have you ever heard me say chakra? You've never heard me say chakra. I'll never say chakras, because chakra is an old Sanskrit word. And there's a reason why they say it's an old Sanskrit word. So he says, I use energy centers. And also with the third eye, one day I was in meditation and they say, don't call this the third eye anymore. Why are you calling this the third eye? They said, when you go to the Olympics, where do the gold medal people stand? They stand here. And they said, put a gold medal around this. This is your first eye. This is your wisdom eye. This is not the third eye anymore. It isn't the bronze medal. It isn't the silver medal. It is the gold medal winner. Bronze and silver are here. This is the gold medal. And there's an intuitive pull that comes from this area. The pituitary and pineal gland is where, when I did RTT with all of us, and we go into that window into pure consciousness, and we're looking for a problem in there, and there's nothing there, because you're pure consciousness. Or you're looking for a lot of stuff in there. It's pure consciousness. You can create whatever you want from the first eye now. And a first eye person will kiss their problems. You'll be able to know a person, again, who's a fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth dimensional beings, because they will see things differently than a lot of people. They will speak of things differently than a lot of people. And although we call them risk takers, it is not a risk taker anymore. It still takes some bold, brave, audacious energy to do it, because you don't have a spiritual community lots of time going, you go, girl, you go. Because if you're doing it because your intuitive wisdom, the God wisdom that's in you, telling you move forward, go forward. It's time to change. It's time to engage. And that lots of people don't understand that. They don't understand that. So we all, and I mean we all have something that we've perhaps been on the fence with. Whatever that is. I encouraged my men group, my caveman group, which I just love calling it the caveman group. I love calling them the caveman. And I asked them, so somebody wanted to talk about, because I said, so what do you think you want to talk about? One person said, well, I want to go back and talk about our biggest regrets. No. I told them, no. And I said, I think we should talk about choices and where you want to go and put your energy, because your energy is going to flow either backwards or it can flow forwards in making the best choices that you can possibly make at this time. So does anybody have any questions about that between now and November 30th? I would encourage you to do some reflection of where you're sitting on the fence with anything, and say, I'm going to use this Grand Central Station energy to come in and change the trajectory of my life. To just change the trajectory of my life. And every time that when I move over on that other side of the fence, will I still have some paper tigers show up? I will. I still have them. Will I still have to French kiss a few of my problems? You bet I'm going to have to French kiss a few of my problems. But I'm going to French kiss them, and I'm going to rip up the paper tigers, because every one of us has a template, a blueprint of our unique God essence divine. And that is just simply what I call, again, the Holy Spirit of oneness. So whether we are shopping, or whether we are walking with our neighbors, or whether we are coming together in our bliss groups, it gives us another opportunity to sit with community and say, yep, we got off the fence. It changed the trajectory of my life. It changed the trajectory of my life. So now I know why kids go like this when they don't like something. Questions about anything? Questions. Okay. Yep.
Well, hope this isn't so much about what we were talking about, but because of the woman talking about the sky, I saw on Twitter today that 3 planets are going to be aligning in a triangle tonight between now and 8:30.
Oh, interesting.
And in the western sky, southwestern sky. But I wonder if anyone knows what that means. They're going to come together more on the 21st of December on the solstice. But no, I'm gonna look at them and
This is what I tell everybody, go to Google University.
Yes.
That's what I always tell. Let me go to Google University. I Google it on my phone. I go to Google University a lot. Also, somebody had told, well, maybe it's you, Enya, who asked. I call Nancy Enya. Maybe it's you who asked, like, oh, darn, I forgot to put my water out during the full moon. Can I put it out after? Yes, the energy of the moon is right before it becomes full, during it, well, its fullness, and then after its fullness. And I usually tell people about 3 or 4 days, even after the full moon, you can still get that gusto in that, especially this one, because it's Grand Central Station. So.
What are we
When is
doing
this
with
next
the
full moon?
water?
The other, oh, yeah, go ahead.
What'd you say, Moses?
Oh, I guess I didn't know anything about water in the full moon. Can you tell me about that briefly?
Yeah. The moon will charge the water. It will change the water molecules. And the closest thing that, again, you can go to Google University and look up Dr. Iamoto. Dr. Iamoto has done an enormous amount of research on how words change water. And so he would even say, like, on your glass to put love on it. Like if you come to the Hope Interfaith Center, well, actually in our house too, inside of our microwave, we have love on both sides taped on our microwave. Why? Because the molecules that come out in a microwave can not be so good. So we've got love taped on the inside of the microwave to change the microwave energy. So I think it's called The Science of Water or something like that, that Dr. Iamoto did. So what the full moon does, and I believe that there's grandmothers in that moon who is there teaching us, and that they charge that energy. And also when I would read many books and have always been in women's circles. And in every woman's circle I've ever been in, I've always heard, well, we've all been together before. We meet under the full moon many times, many lifetimes. And at first, I thought, wow, that's a really cool idea. So it was a cognitive idea. Remember what I said on Tuesday? It's a cognitive idea. Then it goes into your heart like, oh, that feels good. I sat underneath the moon with all you guys. And then I just know it. It just settles in, and I know that in every other culture, the moon is honored, respected, and known as a wisdom carrier. Ooh, Amy put something up.
Say that again.
What is that, Amy? It's so little on my screen. I have to.
It might have been a link.
Oh, I think it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, there
Dr.
it is.
Iamoto. Thank you, Amy. The healing power of water. It's really interesting. So I've always had like a pickle. I first did pickle jars, big pickle jars, and now I just got a great big water container, and I put grandma's moon water and put it in the refrigerator.
I have a question. It doesn't have to be outside, does it? It can be like in a window, because like last time it was so windy on the full moon, it blew my beautiful jar over and there was glass all over. So I can just like set it in the window, right?
Yes,
Okay.
because intention is going to carry that energy.
Yeah. And then in the summertime I can do it. Okay. I just had to double check that.
Yeah, thank you. Because I don't do rules at all.
Yeah, I know, but I just,
Yeah. But yeah, it'll get in there. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it'll get in there with your intention. So
Like moon juice.
moon juice, Grammy's moon juice, Mama's moon juice. Don't you touch Mama's moon juice. So that's probably why they called it moonshine long ago. Alcohol, because they did it in the dark of the night underneath the moonlight, and so they wouldn't get caught. So they called it moonshine. So now we're just making moonshine. Shh, don't tell anybody. Okay, my lovely beans, I am going to have Miss Janelle play a song. I chose this particular song because as always, I was taken back by President-elect Joe Biden's acceptance speech when he gracefully, cry, when he so gracefully and I think brought hope into my energy of hope when he did his acceptance speech. And the words that he used were very enlightening and very holy and very helpful. So I chose the song tonight on behalf of him, called On Eagle's Wings.
When I am down and oh, my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and stay a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can be. There is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats so imperfectly. When you come and I am filled with wonder, sometimes I glimpse eternity. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. Raise me up. You raise me up. You raise me your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can
Beautiful.
Well, good night, everyone. If you've seen that little note that says, please pray for Ria, Joe Gangston, her daughter has COVID here in Mankato. Just found out she had COVID here in Mankato. So let's just continually raise her up. And thank you for all joining me. You raised me up as well. Have a wonderful, really wonderful weekend. And I'll see you on Tuesday. Thanks, Janelle, for helping me tonight.